So, welcome to episode 46 of Wearables Weekly. I'm the host today. My name is Libby Chang. And real quick, I'll just do a quick introduction of my co-hosts. To my left, there's Aaron Caston.
Hey, everybody.
Keith Acorn.
Hey, everyone.
And back from a very long hiatus, Noble Ackerson.
What's up, guys?
Welcome back.
Glad to be back, at least for a very interesting show. We haven't had a show in a while. It looks like.
I think 2 weeks. Yeah, there's been a lot happening in the past 2 weeks in the wearables world. But more importantly, how is Sparrow?
Sparrow is awesome. Sparrow is my little fatso, eating all the time. She's adorable. She's loving the wearables as well. So she has her own glass perspective with everything that she does.
Oh, there you
She's
go.
a pretty avid poster, I've noticed.
Yeah. So even before she was born, she discovered Google Plus, and she started posting her journals as to what she wanted to do, world domination, the whole nine. Very recently, she posted something about self-driving cars. So yeah, she's pretty crazy.
You're going to have a handful with that one, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Especially, talking about jetpacks. Who talks about jetpacks at 6 weeks old?
Sparrow does.
That's right.
So, what's been going on lately? Well, Ice Bucket Challenge. That Noble, I believe you're up for it.
I know. I keep getting nominated. Yes, donating money to ALS is a really, really good thing. And pouring water on you doesn't really excite me much, but for the purposes of moving
Don't
it
waste
up,
water. Donate to charity water.
There you go.
that's another way to do it. That's actually a better way to do it. Actually, I might take you up on that.
That's my challenge.
But
Everybody
if I happen
donate.
to have a cup of iced water in my hand,
Yeah.
flash.
If you do that, I'll follow suit and just toss some water in my face. That's easy enough.
So, yeah, just as a heads up, I think everybody on this panel has been challenged. Cecilia has posted her video. I just posted my video. Aaron posted a...
I cheated. No video.
Aaron has a posting of his... Oh, we're not playing my video. No.
I should have recorded myself clicking submit donation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was today.
This one's just a few minutes
That
ago.
was today.
I'll skip to the good part.
And, okay. Well, we have a lot of news to cover. We really don't have to watch this right now.
Nope. It's
No, we
getting
really don't
watched.
have to, but we just want
This
to.
is most important. Was it cold?
It was. I waited
That's
too
There's
long.
ice cubes in there.
That is how ice works.
The trick is to do it when the ice hasn't fully melted yet, because that's when it's the coldest. I waited a
Yes.
little too long for that. So
Or
that
you
was...
can wait till after it's fully melted and when it's warmed up.
Oh,
Set
or
it-
that.
Set it in the sun. Like I could have put it outside for like 10 minutes and it'd probably been like 102 degrees.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the other thing,
Heather
too.
said, why don't you do the ice bucket challenge? It's hot outside. You'd probably feel really good.
Mm.
Like, all right, it's like 106 degrees.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. It's really hot out here right now.
I don't go outside when it's that hot.
It was very refreshing. Well, let's get into news because we do have a lot to cover. So our first story of the day: Michael J. Fox Foundation Wearables for Parkinson's. I think it's interesting. So within the past 2 weeks, obviously Robin Williams was found, and it came out in the news, I guess, that he had recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's as well. So I don't think this is a solution necessarily to healing Parkinson's, but it's definitely a step in the right direction as far as gathering information on it. And it seems to make a lot of sense to link or have wearables somehow helping out Parkinson's.
So how exactly does it work? Did anybody see the video? There's a very short video on The Verge about it. I didn't see it.
I think it tracks the movements of somebody with Parkinson's.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I gather is they're looking for how well someone with Parkinson's is moving, and how much they're shaking, how well they're sleeping, things like that. I'm not sure if this is just more for comfort for their benefit, or if it's actually intended to gather like aggregate data from lots of patients.
I guess at the very base level, if you can sort of see trends as to at what point, and if there's a historical trend as to at what point of the day uh, does someone who's suffering from Parkinson's see the worst of what they're going through. Maybe there's something that some science that might come out as helping solve that. I don't think there's a cure for Parkinson's totally.
No, there's not a cure for Parkinson's right now. I think there's therapy to help slow the progression of the disease down, but there's ultimately no cure.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool because when you get kind of who knows what could come from like big amounts of data like that, tracking patients who have this like early onset. Maybe it could be a form of diagnosis almost. It becomes an app that you wear, and it's it's like, hey, we noticed you have patterns that are recognized as possible symptoms of Parkinson's.
Yeah, and just skimming the details again, that this is hopefully to detect patterns that might lead to a cure at some point. So they do seem to be collecting this data, as a group in addition to just as individuals, and maybe they can use it to tailor some medications or just get feedback. It's really hard to get patient information because people don't always remember very well when they get back to the doctor's office, like how well they were doing a certain day. But if they have this objective data, that could really be useful.
Yeah. And it kind of ties into our next story, tracking elders' patterns and finding when something is wrong. So this is it's an activity tracker for seniors. So it's kind of like what was it in the past? The life alert. It's kind of like a life alert on your wrist. Yeah.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Yeah.
But I think it does a little bit more. It actually tracks where your family member has gone as far as traveled. So if they were to wander around somewhere and you needed to find them, this device would help. There is a monthly subscription, it seems like, in addition to the initial $170 cost.
Well, that's more for monitoring and stuff like that. Someone who's a senior may need constant monitoring. Like, the whole I'm calling and I can't get up thing has a whole back office to it. Now that it's actually even HIPAA compliant, so there's a cost associated with a service provider. But this actually makes me think. This story and the last story actually makes me think of where things are going with Ohm Signal and what's the other two? They just started following me on Twitter. But anyway, these body-worn wearables that track breathing, track heart rate, as well as certain accelerometer-based metrics that they'll always track. The nice part about these things, even though they're not going the FDA route, the nice part about body-worn is that you can essentially then sort of see whether someone is having irregular heartbeats or just sort of an irregular breathing pattern, and then either send that to someone else to diagnose or send you an alert on your wearable, on your watch or your phone, just to get you call
right, to get you to notice whether or not it really is an issue.
Yeah, and the promise of this one, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have had an older person that has to be monitored regularly or has to have care specialists come in, but it's really tricky deciding when that sort of that next step is necessary. And for a lot of people, maybe they could live independently for years, but you just need to, like, the kids or whoever is taking care needs to have some idea that they're okay. And this, in addition to knowing like immediate harms like falling and hurting themselves, can also track are they getting slower? Do they seem like they're having some difficulty moving? Are they sleeping a lot more, or something changed. Maybe it's a medication issue. There's lots of different ways this could be very useful.
Right.
Yeah, in early diagnosis, and I know that's kind of a controversial subject sometimes because some people would rather not know. I'm kind of in the camp that I wouldn't want to know, and I wouldn't want to know as early as possible because there are a lot of ways to slow down the progressions of certain diseases, especially Parkinson's. I know Parkinson's, even though there's not a cure, there's ways to slow down a lot of the symptoms.
Right.
Yep.
So that can be very valuable. Moving on to the next story. So there is let's see, Google new design patent for glass.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. There's another glass patent story, but I must have missed this one. So who knows about this one?
I actually posted it. So it's basically a different model, I guess, a different SKU, different design that does not have the prism. So obviously, maybe I'm talking about something else. I just clicked on the link and it.
Okay. Yeah, I read through the story. It looked like I guess you can customize this one a little bit more. It's easier to customize with
a different article.
glass frames.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I don't know about this one.
Yes, it looks like it maybe part of the glass detaches, so you can. I'm not sure if it's about changing frames or about changing something else. Attaching hook connector arm.
It's a component. It's basically. I don't know why they would want to do that. So basically, they're getting rid of the screws, right? They're just having it sort of snap in place. It looks like, making it more modular. So if you wanted to, swap your prescription with shades, it would just be sort of a click. Kind of deal.
And I think what you were referring to is the next story, Noble. The Google granted new patent for glass design looks a bit better than current model. So here it looks like the prism is on the inside of the glasses, so it's not protruding out, which is, to be honest, I feel like that would be a lot less comfortable. You'd have to wear your glasses pretty far.
I also don't think those look better, although I don't know.
Well, that's just a patent.
Yeah.
There's been dozens of patents from Google and other companies. They don't always work out, but I guess the idea here is instead of having everything external to the frames, everything's kind of tucked away. So there's like the camera on one side. So I guess they split it. The camera's on one side, the computer is on the other.
Yeah, it's definitely not as obvious that you have a computer on your face.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see how that would not interfere with your temple area, but yeah, maybe it's just.
I doubt. I doubt that this will see the light of day, and if it does, it will look nothing like this picture.
I completely agree. I just don't see how that's possible, but it's an interesting idea. I think it doesn't stand out as much as what the current model is.
Which I guess we can, if you want to hop into a quick debate, is that a good thing for people who are completely frightened about privacy, or is the fact that glasses? Oh, geez, my lights went off. Motion, turn on. Or is the fact that glass is very sort of obvious actually a good thing that people need to sort of start realizing?
See, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that it's so obvious, but I think having it so hidden will calm a lot of other people's nerves. I don't think people quite think these things through.
I guess haters are going to hate.
Exactly.
Haters are going to hate.
So our next story, Asus teases upcoming smartwatch in silhouetted image. I kind of think this image looks a lot like my Samsung. Anyone disagree?
Pull it up.
It has. I mean, it looks like it has a little bit of a.
Adidas, you mean?
Yeah. So.
Asus.
Asus.
Oh,
I'm
sorry. It's
I pronounce it Asus. It's Asus.
No, I don't.
The story dropped down to the lightning round. Hang on, guys.
So.
Check for a second from the bottom of lightning round.
I see it.
I see it.
Yep. So yeah, like you were saying, it's so definitely following the square footsteps of Samsung and LG. And I remember Asus, they even announced them at I/O as being one of the partners. So I guess IFA is
Yeah.
September 3rd. Well, this looks like it's a little bit before IFA, but September 3rd. So it's only about 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I guess the question is what took so long?
I'm really not. I mean, I love Asus. I love their little Dark Knight router. I love their PCs. I'm not sure about the smartwatches stuff. I guess I'm gonna hold.
Looks like it's got less bezel than the Samsung. That might be good. Make it a little bit smaller for
Yeah.
women or for small wristed people.
You
So I guess my
know,
question.
Look,
Oh no,
go
my
ahead.
question is, so do you think the market's flooded at this point? Because we've got
No,
Samsung, we've got LG, we've got
Can't be.
Sony.
no way it's
I
flooded.
can't wait till Fossil releases theirs because it's gonna look. I've got a preview.
I'm not sure
Of
the market's even like established yet.
no,
it.
it is still early days. It's
If you
funny
look at
because
the market,
I know that IFA actually starts on the 5th, and I was wondering why they would do this 2 days before that, and I'm guessing that's because the September 5th is also the expected day for the 360.
Oh yes,
Uh,
yes, Moto's coming out with theirs. Or Motorola is going to have their Moto 360.
So, real quick
Um,
question, Aaron. Since you mentioned your Samsung and the bezel, like you really liked it after you first got it. Are you still enjoying it?
yeah, still wearing it. Even when I don't leave the house. The only time I don't like it is when I'm hot. And my wrist gets
well,
sweaty.
oh, you can always change the band for that. But like, I completely agree. Like, I'm actually not a big fan of this first wave of smart. I mean, traveling lately, I've found myself having a wristwatch, especially in the airport, without any power. Like, it's just sort of sitting there doing nothing.
Oh, really? Because you're using it.
It just runs out of battery, and that just so obviously within a day you sort of run out, and then when you're traveling, sometimes you don't have time to charge it overnight because you have a very early morning flight. So.
Yeah, I really can't wait till these things get a couple of days of battery life because, yeah, like for using its alarm functionality and stuff is totally useless for me because I have to charge it up at night. You can't make it
Right.
more than a day. So.
At least 2 days. I mean, I know. I don't know. Then if I get 2 days, I'll probably say at least three. I don't know.
I was gonna say, I remember when we were getting 4-hour battery life out of stuff. It was like if it could just make it through the day, I'd be
Right.
happy. Now that we're happy with it making it through a day, now it's like, well, if it could just make it through 2 days, I'd be happy. Well, if it could just make it, if it never ran out of power ever, I think I'd be happy then.
that would be awesome if it
There
never
was
ran out of power.
there was something
Real wireless
like a legitimate. Actually, now that you mention it, Aaron, like there was a technology that was somewhat established called Witricity, and it
I
was
saw
kind of like
that.
that. It was like, yeah, you have this little box in your house, and it keeps everything in your house that's like compatible charged.
That's what I want, but it needs to not cost like $10,000 or whatever, and work with all of my gadgets.
And they had it running on like laptops and TVs and everything, so it definitely could push some power.
Yeah.
Kinetic energy and ambient sound energy, whatever
Yeah,
that.
because if you've got it to where it's charging all the time, you don't need a lot of current. It doesn't need to be charged quickly. It just needs to not lose power when you're using it.
Yeah. Speak for yourself. I guess I'm a heavy user of the watch, so it just barely makes it through the day.
Really, I must not use mine near as much.
Yeah, mine does pretty well through the day, but I charge it every night though. So
Yeah, I
it's
charge mine every night.
Yeah, I've never had any problem getting through a day. It's usually about 36 hours when it finally cuts out.
I have actually made it through 2 days with this once.
Which one
But
do
it
you
was
have, Noble?
I have the Samsung. Oh, Noble?
Samsung. Yeah. I'm also a Samsung person. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been able to do 2 days, but it was really on its last legs by the time 9 o'clock rolled around. So our next story, Adidas is opening its My Coach platform to developers so more apps can integrate your training data.
Sweet.
Yeah, so Noble, you want to take this one? I think.
Yes. So if you're familiar with the Me Coach or My Coach, basically little sensors that it's a line of different products. So you've got the Mi Coach Watch or whatever they call it. They've got, um, you know,
This would
stuff
be a
that
Smart Run and a Fit Smart.
exactly. So it's the same deal. Something that Nike refused to do for years. Adidas wants to sort of get a little bit of an edge and say, hey, come build on top of our stuff, sort of make things that we never thought was possible with our platform, which in turn gets more people to buy their products, and it's pretty much what smart businesses do, so it's a very good idea. If you think about how MapMyFitness validates, you know, every wearable that opens up their platform, that's basically what we're thinking. I don't know any wearable worth talking about that MapMyFitness or what's the other guy, MapMyRun, or all the other guys that build on everything. You know, they're going to be on Mi Coach as well. And Mi Coach is actually also again, the Mi Coach system itself is just the sensor, so you're going to actually eventually have, I think I read a few weeks ago, Mi Coach soccer balls that actually have the sensors in the ball, or stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I really like this idea of like hardware and software finally splitting apart as far as this goes. So if you have different apps that you'd rather use and just use this for your data, then that's your preference. So it's no longer siloed.
Yeah, you can imagine like a company like mine, like we would certainly look into that and see, how robust it is and whether it's something that we can leverage.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like the saying, either way, the reasons to stay slumped on the couch are evaporating quicker than the sweat off a runner's head. That's kind of true and kind of sad at the same time. All of my excuses for not running are going away.
Nothing's eliminated my excuses for not running. It's still 106 degrees outside.
Oh, that's right. It's hot in Texas.
So until that changes, no. Not going to happen.
Everything is bigger in Texas, including the weather.
See, unfortunately for me, there is a treadmill that I have access to. So I can run air conditioned with the TV in front of me.
Yeah, I really have no excuse for not riding our stuff.
Aaron, it's your lizard brain giving excuses. Just go out and do something.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I know how hard it is to get motivated, but once you've done it for a couple of days, it really does feel good to stick with it.
I've ran off and on. It's all right.
And Nobu, we're admiring your Spartan medals behind you.
He has Noble displays his
Yes,
all his medals.
I'm still on hiatus for this year. I will need a second one. Actually, this is from last year. I ran one too many. That's not just Spartan. It's actually so historical run, Miami Marathon, Marine Corps Marathon.
Did you ever get the trifecta?
Oh yeah, that's my prize possession there. I was trying to go for 2 trifectas, but I ran out of days last year.
Can you get a trifecta of trifectas?
Yeah. I mean, there's an elite group of people that have done. Actually, a few of my running buddies have actually done 2 trifectas in a year and a 50-mile race. DJ, a good friend.
Oops, sorry. For some reason, Ingress just turned on for me. I don't know why. Hold on.
You've been recruited, Libby.
It's subliminal just to get out and go for a walk.
Just go for a walk.
Yet another way to increase your activity for the day.
You know what's really bad about Ingress, though, is you could technically do it without walking. Just drive around and start hacking portals from the parking lot.
Let's just keep this between us. That's actually how I ranked up so quickly, because I spent most of my time in Northern Virginia traffic in my former life as a consultant, driving through D.C. As a passenger, just hacking every single morning. And
that's one way to do
it. As you can imagine, every single block has about 5 portals.
I was going to show you a quick thing, just in case we did want to rank up. This is outside of our apartment.
I know.
Yeah.
I took it. Did you see? Did they already? I think they already took over my portals. I actually.
Oh, they go back and forth every day.
Yeah.
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 I got those notifications.
So Adidas needs to incorporate that into My Coach.
Oh wow, that would be.
That would be
So,
awesome.
no, that would be a Google thing to build. That's exactly what they're trying to do, bringing it back. Thanks for bringing us back, Libby. But this is a perfect example for the Niantic team to sort of add some.
Yeah, incorporate Ingress into
Well,
Android
they give us
Wear
a scanner,
or
so they see
something.
the tracker now.
Right. They did that to some level with the Jawbone at some point. I don't know whether people are actually taking advantage of it, but yeah. If you remember, you would get your Jawbone would vibrate if you had the Ingress app. I don't know.
Oh, did it really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I can look that up. Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
know
cool.
that.
They need to
Jawbone.
incorporate that into the Android Wear for sure. That would be.
Yeah,
Well,
it was compatible.
I'm afraid Jawbone is definitely favoring the resistance based on their color choices.
Well, no, but now the Jawbone's just black.
Uh,
You can just get.
Incognito.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Shapers. All right, next topic.
All
I just
right.
bored
Next
Aaron
story.
to death.
I was
50
reading about the Sony Smartwatch 3.
Oh yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
we have
also
a story
Wear?
on that coming up.
Nope, not Wear.
That's coming up too.
Sorry, I jumped ahead.
Okay. So 50 Cent says SMS audio is making earphones that listen to your heart.
Yeah, so this was based on the project that Intel sort of announced at CES earlier this year. That they had headphones, and this isn't the only set of headphones we've seen that's done this since, but headphones that can do heart rate monitoring, and from what I've heard, pretty accurately too. So you would hook this up to your phone when you're going for a run or something, and it'll collect your heart rate data. So the one really neat thing about this set, though, that I think the other ones didn't do, is that it doesn't require any external power. It just draws power somehow from the headphone jack, and that's sufficient to keep it going.
Yeah, so LG also has something similar. I think you might have just mentioned that. I'm a little tired. And it doesn't do at least with the LG device, it doesn't do a good job on the earbuds part. Like, you'd want to listen to music and have it sound halfway decent. It sounds
Yeah, that's what I hear. And when you buy headphones, you buy them to hear music. So that was kind of a fail on LG's
They're
part.
trying to say you buy it to listen to your heartbeat or whatever the hell it does. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess as long as I don't know what the quality of sound is on these ones specifically, but as long as it's collecting the data, I could deal with subpar audio as long as it's not really scratchy or something. But yeah, I did hear the same thing on the LGs that they were not so great to listen to.
You guys want to so there's some questions. I hope these are questions. I'm sorry. So KJIL. Oh, sorry. He's just sort of commenting along the way. All right, acknowledged. Awesome. I thought there were questions. I just popped
This
this.
site wrote an article, the 3 best smartwatches that run Android Wear. They listed the Moto 360 as number 1.
Was it like a joke?
I don't think so.
It's hilarious.
I know, one of them's not even out. There's only 2 watches available that even do it. Oh, that was awesome. Among Tech. We have a link to their website in one of these articles.
No, that's amazing. I think that has to be a joke, right?
I hope so.
I'm gonna give it a bit of a doubt. It's like a BuzzFeed type thing. It's like top 3 watches you'll never get. Okay, sorry.
Well, so it looks like a quick question from KJIO asking about battery life and transflective screens. So this is something that's come up on a few models recently, these transflective screens. Which, did any of you guys see the Qualcomm talk by chance?
Yes, actually, a good friend of mine, Antonio, actually has
Yep.
one of those.
Yeah, so I mean that was definitely one of the highly praised features of that watch was that it's got this screen that's color, but it's really low power, and it's also pretty well to see outside in daylight.
Right.
So it's kind of like think giving it like E-Ink Plus or something. And recently, I think Timex came out with one, and there was another one I came across too. So yeah, it's definitely catching on, and the tech seems to be pretty good.
Yeah, apparently the Sony Smartwatch 3 is going to have it.
Oh, are we back on the
It's an
Sony
old teaser.
Smart? Everyone keeps teasing that.
I think we should go on. I think we should move on to that story. 'Cause
Yeah, let's
that
talk.
definitely sounds like it's going to be a big topic. So yeah, so Sony Smartwatch 3 won't run Android Wear.
Nope. That's fine.
Yeah, which is, yeah,
Which is in line with previous models.
I mean, to be
Yeah,
honest, they've had two successful. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily
They've been
completely
doing this for a
successful, but
while. This is
yeah.
3 years old, I think. 3 years old.
You can argue that so has Samsung, right? They did this longer than Android Wear has been out, but they became partners.
Yeah, but Sony's had, I would argue, the best smartwatch before any of the recent smartwatches came out. I mean,
Smartwatch
even
2.
I would
Smartwatch
argue
2.
that was Garmin.
I would argue it didn't matter because they were still both terrible.
Hey, no. Garmin is awesome. Garmin, at least for runners and walk.
You're right. The Garmin Newbie or whatever it is. No,
If
that's
we can
the,
be real for a
that's
little
the
bit.
GPS.
I was very disappointed that so Garmin came out
Right.
with this watch called the Phoenix 2 that was like their $400 sort of runner's watch, and I was really interested in maybe looking at it again, except that it doesn't do the heart rate monitor. It's still using the chest strap.
the new one doesn't
Yeah.
do the heart rate monitor either. You still have to have the chest
Yeah.
strap for that.
Yeah.
The one issue I have with Garmin is you still have to set it to whether or not you're running or swimming or
It
biking.
doesn't know it automatically. Yeah, I guess so. A good friend of mine has the same person who's did the 50-mile run, ran it with the Phoenix 2, swears up and down by it. It gives him VO2 max or whatever that means. By the way, not to get on a weird tangent, I actually had a demo of the new version of our app, and someone was going on and on and on about why we don't count calories and all that stuff. And it was a room full of people, and I just sort of stopped because I really didn't get what he was getting at. So I asked him, and actually posed this question to the entire room, about 20 people. It was like, so what exactly is calories? Just playing dumb. No one knew what a calorie really was.
I know what a calorie is.
I know, this is a unit of energy, right?
It is
But like
a
nobody
unit,
really
yes.
knows what a calorie is. Like they just hear calories and it's like I burn it and I don't and I gain it. It's like you don't get. Like, I don't know. It's like people just calculating things just because the data is there. Nobody really knows what they're doing. It's hilarious.
So what exactly did he want you to do with Link's Fit and calories? Like have a calorie tracker?
Basically, he found that that was a very important metric for fitness and health purposes, but really didn't make his point too clear. So I basically posed the question. So who here knows what a calorie is, right? Just to sort of start a different conversation. But then in asking that question, I realized that no one knew what a calorie was. So,
You have to
anyway.
be careful depending on your audience. I know you had this problem with your Weissman score on something or other.
Oh, yes. Posing questions and no one really knows.
Which I totally get now what a Weissman score is.
Yeah.
Going back to the calorie thing, though, I feel like, and so like Fitbit and I think Jawbone does this too. They do have a food tracker incorporated where you can input the amount of food you eat and all that stuff. No
Seems
one
tedious.
does it. Nobody
Yeah, I
I
was to
know
say.
does it. It's such a waste.
Yeah, I agree. I actually tried when I first got my Fitbit. It lasted all but maybe a week. I will give myself a week, and I know that's a lie. But no, I failed very miserably counting my calories.
I think I did a week or two as well. When I
Yeah.
every now and then if I think about it, I'll input the data, but it's not consistent enough for it to really do anything.
Yeah.
And I don't have the time to really sit down and remember what I ate.
I'm actually really impressed that Keith, you still wear your Basis band, I'm guessing, even with your other smartwatch, because, obviously, I don't know whether Yeah, do you wear? I'm guessing you don't wear both.
No, I wear them both.
What?
Actually, I took it off right now to charge it, but yeah, and the reason I like the Basis still is, even though it's getting a little bit dated now, is just that it provides data that I haven't found any other device to do, which is like skin temperature and heart rate continuously. So I can go back and see stuff. There was a couple weeks ago where I was sick for a little bit, and I could actually see that on my temperature and stuff. I could see like my heart rate getting higher as I was going through it. Sleep tracking is incredible. Like the stuff that this can tell me is very useful. Now I don't necessarily take that data and do anything useful with it, but I could.
So this is where things are going. At least not to plug my project again, but I mentioned that body-worn wearable earlier, and it does more than just sort of tell you this, right? I would hope Basis will keep working on this valuable data and actually use that to give you insights. Like, rather than just collect it and display it for you, actually have it do something. And like tell you, hey, for the last week you've been sleeping a lot more than moving, or you've been too sedentary, so here are some.
Yeah, no, I agree. And some of that stuff it can it does has these things called insights, and you can set goals and things like that. But I haven't seen anything really change in the last 6 months or so where it's where it's prompting me that, hey, you need to do something. I can share real quick. Let's see what it looks like on their screen, but I think they have a really neat idea here. If they keep developing the software, they could have something.
I want to, if they do release another piece of hardware, I'll jump on the Basis just to check them out. I think you've convinced me. I'm a fan.
Well, and like I said, I just hope that they keep developing this, or come up with a slimmer. The only issue, and the reason I had it off earlier, was that it's a little thick still. So there are some shirts where it doesn't quite get under the cuff. But you can see here's some heart rate stuff, skin temperature stuff, or whatever. And you can get this data continuously. I can go back for weeks. I can see days that I was more active, days I went to the gym. It'll correlate your activity level. Like this was a day that Libby and I went to the gym, and you can see how everything got really intense right there. I really like that I have this, even though I haven't quite fully utilized it yet. But
yeah, that's the thing. It's like the data is great to look at, but then do you actually follow through? We again just sort of are how we're trying to set ourselves apart from everyone else.
Right.
So it's phoning home to China. Actually, wait, no, Basis is based here. It's phoning home to Intel.
Yeah. Yeah. I would hope it would phone home to me more.
Okay. Well, let's move on. So from the community, we've got a story that Mary Elizabeth Copiel had posted. Wearable tech to fix your posture.
Oh, Lumo back.
I don't need anything to fix my posture. I have excellent posture, can't you tell?
Yeah. Is it the Lumo back I'm thinking?
Yes, I think you might have shared it as well somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, it's an older product, but they're doing some pretty impressive stuff.
I thought this was like an Indiegogo thing, or is it just older techies?
It's a product. They're it's part of the whole corporate wellness thing. Companies are buying it and sort of.
So this is called the Upright.
Yeah, this one's different.
Oh,
it's an interesting idea, though. I mean, it's supposed. I guess it's not something that you wear all the time. It's only supposed to be something that you wear for a few weeks, and it's supposed to help improve your posture over the course of 2 to 3 weeks.
One thing I couldn't really find in the information was how it's correcting you. Is it just because you feel it, you're reminded, or is it like sending you messages or?
It's electroshock therapy.
Yeah.
That might work.
It stabs you. It has micro needles that stab you.
I remember we had that conversation once.
Yeah, that.
Well, if you just pair this with the Pavlov's thing, and then you're all set.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the funding's over, so it's too late. Darn.
I can
But I
tell you,
think
as I'm sitting here, I could probably use some posture adjustment. So let me straighten up.
I have a feeling that it has something. The way it works is a lot like the basis, though. It's just kind of collecting data, and you adjust your posture as the data is collected. So there is going to be some user interaction that needs to be necessary to actually have this thing come into full effect.
All right.
So our next story, Scully's Android-powered smart motorcycle helmet goes up for pre-order. These things are not cheap, and this was given to us by Abhinav Singh.
Yep.
So the Scully helmets, I don't know if you guys have seen them. They're heavy. They're really heavy. But they're supposed to be really great if in case anything ever happens in a crash.
They look cool.
Yeah. And
Except for the big white Scully name on it. But everything else.
I think we have a motorcyclist in our midst right now. Noble, do you have any feedback?
That's right. If I had the cash to burn, I'd probably consider one of these. Just the fact that I don't have to sort of mount the GoPro on top of my motorcycle or ride with glass, which is always a pain.
What does
Huh?
a normal helmet generally run? Like, is this way more expensive, or is
Oh
this?
wow, I haven't bought a helmet in so long. I've just kept my old helmet. I think probably like $200 is too
Okay,
much.
so
Yeah.
this is
Although I'm reading one interesting feature. So it's got I guess a camera on the back, so it'll project it in
Navigate,
front of
yeah.
you, so you
So
get like
it's
rear view mirror.
so within the camera there's a little screen so you can see. So it's kind of like an electronic rear view mirror.
Yep, and it
Um,
does.
Yeah, I've seen one of these demonstrated at Augmented World. Scully was there, and they demonstrated how the helmet works. It's really neat. I mean, you can see. So essentially, it kind of gives you a better perspective of what is around you while you're on the motorcycle, without you having to turn your head. Um, so it's an interesting device. I think it definitely will keep the rider safer if you can withstand the weight.
Right. It's actually so. If you look at this picture, can you guys see my screen?
yes.
Okay. So it looks like they're using the same sort of prism
Interesting.
style technology.
Yeah.
Can you guys notice that? Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
very interesting, and it's off to the right in this picture's
It's
case.
the bottom side, though.
Bottom side, so it's right there within your peripheral right now. I think it would be super. I really wish I had the cash. I definitely plunked down some ducats to check it out. But probably not the audience because I don't ride a sport bike anymore, and I would look like a douche if I rode
It
mine.
just wore it around.
I ride a basically a Victory Hammer. It looks like a Harley, and you know. I do a half helmet and a scarf. So
Oh, but you could just wear it around the grocery store and see everybody behind you and what they're doing.
that's true. That's a really good idea. It'd make it great going into bars that people are so uncomfortable about glass and just walk in with the.
With the motorcycle helmet.
No one's gonna
bling it
mess
up with some
that.
LEDs like Daft Punk or something.
There you go.
Exactly. Start DJing, get nominated to DJ that night. That'd be great.
Maybe that's what Daft Punk has. So they
Maybe.
could see behind them.
A
The
long
audience
time
behind
ago,
them.
and this is wearable related, I promise. I was reading about, I don't know if you guys have heard of deadmau5. He's another DJ. He's got this super sophisticated mouse helmet. It looks like a mouse's head. But it has like computers in it. It has a screen. It's got a ventilation system that cools so that he could just have a 2-3 hour set and has all the information and an LED in front of him inside the mask. Anyway, that is wearable. So if you've ever heard of deadmau5, that's yeah. Sorry, I'm still sharing my screen, aren't I?
Yeah, that's cool. Nobody mind.
So let's see, and what else? I guess we're ready for the rundown. Um,
The final round down. Sorry.
Well, there was one quick thing in the discussions. You don't have to go to the second one, but the first one was kind of neat, the Jawbone.
oh, I totally missed that section, didn't I? Let's see. Jawbone aggregates sleep activity data. I know Jawbone's been putting a lot of money into the sleep part of their tracker,
Yes,
and what they can do with the information, how they can make it better for users.
so we were talking recently about, or in the earlier stories about, like, what people could do with, once you start getting a lot of data from a lot of users. And what Jawbone did was basically take, the 100,000 plus users that they're getting data from, and extrapolate, like, city by city and over a course of time, like how active they're being. Like, you can see patterns, like, weekdays versus weekends. Different cities where maybe, like in San Francisco, people tend to wake up around, like, 9 or 10 o'clock, and in other cities it might be earlier. There was even some interesting little quirks, like right around, like, Christmas and New Year's, you see, like, the throws off everybody's sleep schedules and things like that. So, I don't know, not incredibly useful because it's just basically activity level, but if you could imagine getting this much data about I don't know, heart rate or something like that, maybe you could correlate it with heart disease or diabetes or other factors.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next story in the discussions. After Ferguson, police should be wearing on-body cameras.
The cops here have been wearing cameras for a while.
Yeah. There's some cop-related camera. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Like the little side ones. I think in New York I saw a couple.
This one's a clip. Yeah, this one's a clip right here.
The ones they wear around here, but they look like the same. They're a barrel-style camera, not the square one that they're showing in that.
Is it like this one here?
It looks like that one. It looks similar to that one. It's that barrel style, but it sits on their shoulder.
Right.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't have required it before, but it seems like it's getting more and more necessary, at least in certain.
No, I wouldn't put it on the cops though, because if a cop's going to be corrupt, it's going to be corrupt. There's a whole trend with Ferguson cops not ripping off their name badges because they don't want to be accountable for what they're doing or what might happen because there's so much craziness going on over there. So I mean, if someone's going to be a crooked cop, they're not going to turn on the thing. They're going to figure out a way to sort of subvert or hide whatever they're trying to do. I think it should be the opposite way around. I think Google or someone with the resources, Tyler Perry, I'm looking at you, to just buy like the rest of the Google Glass devices that are in inventory at Google, and just go to every densely populated minority neighborhood and just gift Google Glass to every single teenager. It must be a teenager. And then just have them walk around recording everything. That would definitely change behavior.
Or frankly, since these only seem to be issues during shootings, maybe they could just attach a camera to the gun or something
That's true.
Caches like 30 seconds or something.
That's great. Every time they pull the trigger, it should snap a photo as well.
Oh my God, that'd be gruesome. That'd always be after the fact, though.
Or as soon as the safety is turned off, it starts recording.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
And at least police would be more likely to have their safeties on. I don't know. Wouldn't be a first resort.
Well, I think people they shouldn't be pulling out their weapons as first resort anyway. Like the guy who committed suicide by police. Why did they have to kill that guy? Why couldn't they taser him? I don't know.
They may not have tasers. I don't think all cops carry tasers.
Oh.
Like,
I thought they all carried pepper spray, tasers, batons.
Oh, you would think. At my school,
wear jacket, bulletproof vests.
So at San
Ninja
Francisco
stuff.
State, they actually do carry guns, but they were not allowed to carry tasers. They're banned from carrying tasers. I don't know. Yeah, it's. I think the rationale behind it was if a cop were to carry a taser, they would be more likely to use it, whereas a gun, they're really, really not likely to use it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So lightning round. Let's see, Glass XC 20.1. What do you guys think of it?
I haven't gotten it yet.
I don't know if I've gotten it yet or not.
Same.
Okay. Next story.
Is that because none of us have put glass on in a couple of days?
No, actually, I had glass on today. I've had glass on all week, pretty much. I just never got it on my personal glass device.
Glass has been relegated to when I think I might want to take hands-free photos.
Oh, look at
That's
that.
what we do, yeah.
Guess what I just got?
20.1.
How,
20.1.
Congratulations!
so how do you like it, Noble, with your whopping 5
Well,
seconds?
let me
of
tell you
20.1?
all about 20.1 now that
You're now an expert.
I'm an expert. It just took a picture because I winked, I guess, at some point. I didn't read the release notes, but it's supposed to do contacts different.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it looks like you can now. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, it looks like it lets you choose between Gmail, Hangouts, or SMS, whereas I guess before it was just Hangouts.
Okay, Glass.
yeah.
Send a message to. Oh wow, look, the different people. Keith Acorn. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. So they've now they've basically introduced sort of an XY um, menu system. So you know when you say OK Glass and you get that scrolling menu that is actually gesture capable, as just a list of whatever, you can actually then sort of swipe forward and backwards with that and get additional contacts, whatever. Right now, I don't know how it's sorted, so I'm not gonna mess with it. I'll figure it out soon.
Cool.
Okay, next story. OMate X. The new OMate is on its way. I have to say, this one looks much sharper than.
Sorry, I
Oh
choked.
yeah, I missed your sound effect.
Oh, I just choked. I couldn't. I was laughing and choking. Wah wah wah. What is my sound effect? I forgot it.
It's a lightning sound effect. There you
Oh,
go.
that's right. All right, I forgot the noise though. I used to do that on
OMate
our
2
Thursday Night Android podcast. Yeah, there you
There
go.
you
That's what it was.
Okay. So OMate's new smartwatch. It looks much, much sharper than what they had before. It's actually a square screen as opposed to a circular screen. And it doesn't look so thick.
Yeah, based on the price, this has got to be not a full Android build like it was. It's got to be either slimmed down. I doubt it's Android Wear, just because
It's not. It said it's just does notifications. It's like, hold on. They said in the article what it was. It's like some operating system nobody's heard of, because when you put out a product like the original OMate, nobody cares about your second product.
I don't know. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt when it's out, but
So it turns out that the guys at OMate are watching the show right now. So I just want to let them know I love the OMate, and you can send me. I don't want the old OMate. Just send me the new one.
And we're still looking for sponsors for the Big Android Barbecue if you guys would like to come out and talk about
That's right, OMate.
Because those are the only people that will buy it.
Yes, exactly. That's your audience.
That's
there you go.
That's it. That's like all of them.
Give it away.
So moving on.
Nice. That was perfect sound for that.
Wrapping up the OMate thing. Sorry.
All right, Samsung VR Play.
There
I
you
just stole
go.
your thunder, didn't I?
Well, no, you didn't have your sound effect. I couldn't.
Oh, I did it like 3 times, but we kept staying on them.
Oh no, mate.
Yeah.
Okay. So
There we go.
Samsung's VR headset looks huge. It looks kind of big.
Wow.
I mean, anything that comes out now that Google did the cardboard thing is like, just like really.
It's overkill. I agree.
One thing I'll observe here is that it looks like it's built to have a phone, like an actual phone.
I think it's
snap
like
onto
a
it.
Galaxy S5 or something. I'm sure that's how it's intended.
Yeah.
Was it you, Keith, that sort of revealed to me that even in the original Oculus, it has a Samsung device?
That was the DK2, the new developer version of OMate or Oculus does have a Samsung panel complete with labeling and ear hole and everything. So they use the panel for it, and I'm trying to figure out if Samsung's doing that or if they're actually just intending you to use a phone, which would make a lot more sense because it would hopefully sell them some phones.
Right.
Okay, so moving on. Apple's smartwatch will have a sapphire screen if they ever come out with a smartwatch. Supposedly during, I think it was September 9th, is it? Is their next announcement?
Basically, anytime they're supposed to do an announcement, that's the next rumored date, so I wouldn't put too much stock in it.
Although we kind of did, because we kind of jumped on that, but... So, okay, next story. Motorola's Moto 360 smartwatch pops up at Best Buy 2 weeks early. I think they essentially just leaked the details of the price and a couple of the specs.
Pretty much.
There was nothing new there. I mean, you kind of knew.
I think the only thing that it kind of confirmed, which is what we already expected, was that the price is in fact $250, just as the leak kind of explained, even though they didn't really want to say it was. But that price is really great. So.
Yeah. So for all the couponers out there, now the game begins. Where how cheap can you get it for?
True. If you can get that 10% off Best Buy thing. Also, we got an email. I think all of us here. That anybody that went to I/O that by September 5th we're supposed to send them our address, and then we should be receiving.
Sometime in the future.
Fingers crossed.
First come, first served basis.
That's right. That's right. So, okay, next story. Guess and Martian watches team up on a style-conscious smart wristwear.
Martian?
Yeah, I have
You
no
can probably
idea
skip
Martian
this
is.
one. Martian, they sell the watch at Target I've seen before, but it's kind of, yeah.
Marvin? That's horrible looking. Next.
Okay, are we almost, let's see. Oh, wait.
I mean,
we
I
already
have
talked
like
about
one of
that.
those like little LED displays going across the bottom, like ticker. It's like next stock. Anyways,
Tesco's-
Asus.
Let's
Oh, we
see.
covered that
Tesco's
already.
prototype glass app lets you order milk by looking at the barcode. So,
I think we've seen this
essentially-
concept before.
yeah, I think it's neat. I mean, essentially you can go grocery shopping within your own home.
So at
Oh, this was done at hackathons.
yeah, that was done at our hackathon at the Glass. What was it?
Breaking Glass.
Hackathon by.
I've seen this done at least 2 hackathons, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Crystal Shopper was the one that was done at Breaking
Yeah.
Glass.
That's right, it was Crystal Shopper.
Same concept.
Yep. So, but this is actually an
Similar.
official thing that Tesco has done, or did they at least mention?
Yeah,
Hmm.
basically the same idea. Nothing new there.
I mean, do they deliver groceries that I'm not aware of or something?
I don't know. That would be interesting. Like, wow, Google Shopping Express or Amazon Fresh should so do this.
They should, yeah. Yeah, like I need to make Google Shopping Express any more handy. I already buy way too much from that.
Uber. Oh, I know it's not wearable related, but Uber is doing this thing here in DC. We finally get one. It's called Corner Store, and you can basically Uber your groceries and stuff. It's awesome. I want to start
Nice.
doing it. I just need to figure it out. Only I technically don't live in DC, so damn it.
We have eBay. Is it eBay? eBay Express? That does something
eBay has
similar.
something. Honestly, I don't know anybody that's used it. I've heard that it exists, but
I've known one person who's used it, but he works for eBay. So
eBay's
it's
the whole
not.
thing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, eBay's is kind of cool. eBay's technically, supposedly, will get you whatever you order within the hour. So, and even at that, I've never used it. I've never tried it. I really should.
well, all I can say is when I was driving to work yesterday, I noticed that I was surrounded by not one, not two, but 3 Google Shopping Express vans at the same time. So they're definitely being heavily utilized in this area.
They are awesome. They are totally awesome. So, events. We've got some events coming up. The Glass Scavenger Hunt is going on in San Francisco this Saturday. Keith and I will be there. Big Android Barbecue.
Yeah, that's still coming up.
October 16th through the 18th.
If you want to speak, it's your last chance to submit a session.
Last call.
Yeah, we're on last calls. We've also got our game contest running right now. Barbecue 5, the game. If you go to Big Android Barbecue, bigandroidbbq.com/contest, You can find all the details out about that.
Cool.
Send in your little silly games. It'll be fun. You went up to $300 ticket.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you're still doing pins this year, right? The little.
Oh yeah.
I love those.
Those things are so cool.
By the way, Aaron and I, this is relevant. Aaron and I happen to be wearing our Big End
Twinkies.
barbecue shirts. I just wanted to represent.
Mine's darker. This was a reprint. So this was printed in. I actually like your version better, the lighter.
I like the faded look. It's the most comfortable shirt ever.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed to say I haven't taken a shower yet. This is very relevant to this conversation because
It does show sweat stains pretty bad.
Yeah. But I took the red eye from San Francisco at 12 a.m. this morning, and this is like the only shirt that I would wear on a situation like that.
It's just so. These shirts are so comfortable.
They are. I've got,
barbecue.
I've got to take mine out of storage. I have this bad habit of, like, all the shirts I actually want to keep, I don't wear. It's terrible. But I have mine like boxed away nicely. But I really need to start wearing it. It is a nice shirt.
Awesome shirt. So go to the barbecue anyway.
Oh yes, barbecue will be fun. Barbecue will be fun and educational. Okay, Oculus, the Oculus Connect conference.
I thought we were done. Oh, conference is still going.
Yeah, same as before. September 19th and 20th. I think you have to be approved. I don't think you can just buy a ticket. So.
Okay, so it's still approval process. The tickets are free though, right?
Sure.
You can tell we are all going to that one.
Sorry.
To be honest, I would like to go, but yeah. Oh nope, registration is now closed.
Oh nope.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh nope. Oh nope.
So CES, have you guys all registered for CES yet?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Noble.
No, not yet.
Might as well register and get your free ticket, and then if you don't want to go, no big deal.
Okay, someone like me. I keep seeing people post that. I just have not done it yet. I've been busy.
I wonder if I can change my info.
Yeah, it'll be fun. There's going to be a group of explorers there. It'll be fun.
Link me,
It's
someone.
Vegas.
I'm getting that.
It's on the show notes.
It is on the show notes. It is on the show notes. All right. Oh yeah, and don't let me forget.
So you had one job, Noble.
I know. This is Wearables and Things is happening. It's happening in DC. It's one of the Modev throws some of the largest conferences in the Mid-Atlantic. This time we are proud. I'm on the full disclosure. I'm on the board of advisors, and we've got Google's own Timothy Jordan to come talk to us about wearables, wearing glass. We've got some pretty innovative speakers as well, headlining, like Sunny Vu of Misfit Wearables, founder CEO of Atlas Wearables, a rival of Linksfit. They're actually building a pretty innovative piece of hardware. I think it was an Indiegogo, if you probably backed it. But yeah, it's like a personal coach on your wrist, but Linksfit's way better. But he's an awesome person to speak. But yeah, definitely, if you are in the DC area, check it out. If you're not, still check it out. It's going to be on YouTube. I'm proud to say that these guys do not disappoint. It's always an awesome show. There's always going to be big news coming out of it. So, yeah.
When is it?
It is on Noble Don't Fail, October 20th to 21, which is very, very close to another. It's very, very close to another
2 days later.
A conference that I'm endorsing, but they're equally fantastic, and they're on opposite sides of the world. So,
yeah,
of my world anyway. So. Yep, that's it. Modev. If you're watching the show or listening to it or however you consume this, you have to show up, or else I'll come after you. I will send Ferguson police to your door. Very efficient.
All right, and with that, I think our time is up. So
Awesome.
episode 46 is
In the back.
done. In the bag. I was gonna say, I can't. I was trying to, because I know Leo Laporte has his little catchphrase. Well, another episode is in the can, and that's what I kept thinking. I can't say that.
Yeah, it's trademarked. It's ours. Another episode is on
In the
your
cloud.
In the cloud. Oh, that's awesome. Another episode is in the cloud. Totally using it.
All right.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. I gotta run. It's
Yep.
been